Good morning, dear hearts. Welcome, welcome. Happy Father's Day. I think, boy, we just have a small handful of fathers here. Did you guys get your roses? Yes? Oh, very good. Yes, we figure the guys deserve flowers too on Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all of you who are here with us online. I'm Reverend Mary Marie Shelton, and this is Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living. And we are a community that believes in the wholeness and completeness of every single person, always. So as we begin this morning, our job is to make sure everybody feels welcome and that they get a good hello and all that good stuff. So please stand up and go make sure that you say hello to everybody, introduce yourself to anyone you don't know, and make each other welcome. And you folks online do the same. Make yourself welcome. We're very glad that you're here with us. So pour yourself a little more coffee, give yourself a hug, take a little jog around the living room, whatever you want to do to make yourself feel present and welcome. All right, we have done our wonderful greetings already to each other. And this morning we have Daniel Nahmad, who actually, I don't know what he's doing for Father's Day, but he sent us our videos way early, and William and I had both forgotten we actually already had them. So we were very calmed to be able to find them and realize that, no, he hadn't forgotten us. Actually, we had forgotten him. And he's done something lovely for us this morning. So we are going to stand and sing with Daniel Nahmad. I think this is a song we've maybe sung before, but you'll catch on quickly. So please stand and join us for the morning song. Now it's called Father of My Soul.
Hello, my friends in Golden Gate. Happy Father's Day. As you may know, I am myself a very proud daddy, a very proud and imperfect daddy, doing the best I can day by day, and grateful to still have my dad with me. So I hope you're having a nice morning so far. I'm truly grateful to be singing for you again. You're getting a decent dose of Danny the last few weeks and the next few weeks, a few visits from me. So hopefully you enjoy the music today. The first song that came to mind today was a song with the word Father in the title, so that just makes sense. Let's sing this one together. We have sung it, as far as I know, one time before, and let's see if you remember it, and if you don't, here come the words. Ready? Here we go. A little trivia on this one. The bass drum on this recording was me thumping on a water bottle. Boom. There you go. I did call it trivia. Here we go. Father of my soul. Ready? Oh, Father of my soul, thank you for the blessings of the day. Oh, Father of my soul, thank you for the blessings of the day. Sing it again. Oh, Father of my soul, thank you for the blessings of the day. Oh, Father of my soul, thank you for the blessings of the day. For the light and the shadow, for the triumphs and trials, for the moment and mystery, for the sorrow and the smiles, for the peace and the conflict, for the silence and song, for the calm and confusion, for the winter and the warm. Oh, 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 mother of my heart, thank you for the blessings of the day. Oh, 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 mother of my heart, thank you for the blessings of the day. For the light and the shadow, for the triumphs and trials, for the moment and mystery, for the sorrow and the smiles, for the peace and the conflict, for the silence and song, for the calm and confusion, for the winter and the warm. Again, for the light and the shadow, for the triumphs and trials, for the moment and mystery, for the sorrow and the smiles, for the peace and the conflict, for the silence and song, for the calm and confusion, for the winter and the warm. Oh, 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 Father of my soul, thank you for the blessings of the day. Oh, 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 Father of my soul, thank you for the blessings of the day. Oh, 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 Father of my soul, thank you for the blessings of the day. Oh, 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 Father of my soul, thank you for the blessings of the day. One more time. Oh, 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 Father of my soul, thank you for the blessings of the day. Oh, 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 Father of my soul, thank you for the blessings of the day. Woo! Happy Father's Day. See you in a few minutes.
Happy Father's Day. If you are a dad, would you please stand? If you're somebody's dad, please stand up. We want to acknowledge all the dads. Yay! Fathers, happy Father's Day. And if you are a granddad, would you remain standing? All right, granddads. Woo! Yes. And if you are a great-granddad, would you remain standing? I thought so. Jerry. Yay, Jerry. Yay, yay, yay. And for all those of you at home that are dads, give yourselves a pat on the back. Now, if you are a stepdad, foster dad, big brother, adoptive father, godfather, or if you are a mom who has acted in the role of dad as a single parent, would you stand? That might be both everybody else. Yes. All right. Yay. Thank you all so much. We're very proud of you today, and we celebrate you, and we're honored that you are here with us for your special day. So now we're going to take a moment and turn within. And so as we do this, I'm going to invite our morning prayer practitioner. Who is my prayer? Oh, it's Frank. That's right. I'm going to invite Frank up to do the opening for us right now.
It's a bright, sunshiny day, huh?
Yeah.
Please take a moment, breathe into the moment, and join me in affirmative prayer. The purpose of this prayer is to open the service, and opening is the theme of the prayer. I begin by speaking the truth, and the truth is that there is only God. Only God, and all of this is it. Every moment, every action, every activity, every emotion, everything that we think, feel, do, know, everything that we are, all that we see is an expression of spirit. It is fullness itself, full with the radiance and splendor of spirit. And we have only to look and see that radiance in the moment. We have only to listen and hear the word of God for ourselves. We have only to feel and know that we are held in the arms of Spirit. So each of us is here. I listen and hear the word of God for myself and for each of you, for every person within the sound of my voice and all of our relations out into the world. This word spreads. It is a blessing. I open to the impress of Spirit. I allow it to have its way with me and with this service, and know that it is designed for the good of each and every person here, so that we, each of us, can take this moment, this blessing, into our hearts and take it out into the world when we leave. And so we remember this day our fathers, but not just our fathers, but all the fathers before. We are the inheritors of so much spiritual work that has been done before, and that momentum, that motion has been through the ages, through all beings, just as it is right here, right now, in us. We are alive. We are well. We are held. We are loved into being, and that loving comes from the self-givingness of God. It is eternal. It is forever. It has always been, and it always will be, and we can take confidence in that. And so I see for each person here a change in consciousness that allows us to open more fully, more completely to the goodness of God that is our divine birthright. We are the inheritors. We are the children of God. We may have confidence and clarity. We may take peace and understanding and love from that knowing. So I take my knowing and I pass it to you. And I ask you to take it forward. And I give thanks. I give thanks for the answered prayer. I give thanks for all the goodness that we all of us enjoy. And I speak my word into the perfect action and activity of the law, knowing that it is carried forward from this moment forward and will never stop acting for our good. This prayer is a thing in the law now. It is complete and perfect and whole, just as we are. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Frank.
I'm through asking where I'm going. I've been asking all my life. I've grown tired of all this wondering when everything seems to turn out right. So when my mind needs something to do, wants to know the future, I whisper this: I'm okay. I've always been, and I'll always be that way. So here goes nothing. I'm taking a chance. I'm opening up, knowing that I'm in good hands. And here goes everything. It's all on the line. Oh, but I'm not afraid this time. Some say it's crazy. Some say naive to close my eyes and take the leap. But I know better, 'cause I believe even in the dark my soul can see. So when my mind plays its usual games, oh, my the same. Yeah. Here goes nothing. I'm taking a chance. I'm opening up and knowing that I'm in good hands. And here goes everything. It's all on the line. Oh, but I'm not afraid this time. Here goes nothing. I'm taking a chance. I'm opening up, knowing that I'm in good hands. And here goes everything. It's all on the line. Oh, but I'm not afraid this time. No, I'm not afraid this time, 'cause I'm okay. I've always been, and I'll always be that way. I'm okay. I've always been, and I'll always be that way. Thanks.
Yes, we are still doing a grand rising. I wish a grand rising to all of you. And in the month of June, we are talking about holy boldness. So I wanted to really kind of delve into boldness today on Father's Day, because I think it takes a lot of juice to be a dad. And dads have all variety of appearances and behaviors and ideas and professions, including this guy up here who's being very tender with this tiny little mite in his motorcycle helmet and tattoos, and there you can see on his face the tenderness toward his child. So we see today Chutzpah, Moxie, daring, and boldness. They're kind of all related, and they particularly do relate to boldness. And one of the things that is a mystery, I think, to moms is dad humor. Anybody have a dad that did that kind of thing that was just like, yeah. So my ex-husband and my son share a very oddball, quirky, goofy dad kind of sense of humor, which I hope that their boys appreciate. But this is a great little example of that. The family was viewing old slides, and one flashed on the screen that got everyone's attention. She says, "My father, wearing his favorite golf shirt, was holding me at the tender age of 3 weeks. And the look on his face said it all. 'There is my prized possession,' my father said. And touched, I smiled at him as he continued, 'I wonder whatever happened to that golf shirt.'" Definitely dad humor. So as we're looking into the process of chutzpah and moxie, these are words that come out of our culture. They're kind of interesting. Chutzpah is a word that is Yiddish. And what its classic definition really is, someone who murders both their parents and then claims the mercy of the court because they're an orphan. That's the kind of classic definition of chutzpah. So what it means is, being a little audacious, a little out there, maybe even cocky or irritating, or, just somebody who really does not worry about the opinions of anybody else. So from a kind of idealistic perspective, we expect dad to be a confident, fearless risk taker, maybe even a little cocky, who leads the way. Dad's always the one who goes ahead, who guides everybody, who's not afraid of anything, who calms everybody down. That's kind of the, ideal idea of a dad. Nobody's dad is all those things. If you're a dad, you already know that. In fact, there's plenty of times that, you'd like to hide in the closet or get under the bed or, escape that sort of pressure of being that one. And then we have Moxie. So I like that skydiving. That's a tandem skydiving picture. And the woman is, the tandem, but the guy who's like, woo, he's the lead guy. He's done millions of those jumps. That's his thing. He's got chutzpah, right? Now, Moxie is somebody who's nervy, somebody who's able to take on something that nobody else dares to do. This is an image of the Eras tour with Taylor Swift. This is at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri, where she did 2 sold-out performances in Arrowhead Stadium. And this stadium, now, mind you, it's sold out. This stadium holds 76,416 people. And I think that this little person right here is her. She has Moxie. Very few people could stand on a stage to do a performance that rests primarily on her for more than 76,000 people at one go, and then do a whole tour like that, where you're in the midst of this enormous crowd of people. That's Moxie. She's learned to have that kind of nerve. She took time off, actually, at one point because she was overwhelmed with other people's opinions. And she had to kind of regroup and decide that, as Terry Cole Whitaker said in her book, what you think of me is none of my business. The recognition that sometimes you have to stand true to yourself, no matter what other people think or what they're doing or saying, and just hold to your vision. And it certainly seems to be working for her for the most part. And so most of our dads don't have to go to that length. But, dads are the ones that pick us up when we fall down. When I was a little girl, my own father died when I was 3. So I didn't grow up with a dad in the household, but I grew up in a huge 36-acre apartment complex. And so I was around other kids and their dads a lot. And near where I lived, there was, in the back of a bunch of these apartments, there was this huge rock. Probably wouldn't look as huge to me now, but there was this huge rock that we kids used to climb up on. It was called Secret Rock. You're supposed to be able to whisper your secrets into this big rock, to keep them. And one of the dads, he was a pretty big guy, he used to come down there with us, and he'd stand next to the rock, and we would jump off the rock, and he would catch us. No one was afraid to jump. No one thought he was going to miss or not catch them or drop them or anything like that. When I was around that same age, this apartment complex had an Olympic-sized swimming pool. And we would go down there. I learned to swim at age 7. We would go down to the pool. I would go down there with my big brother, who was 20 years older than me. And, he would throw me up into the air and stuff and catch me or pull me out of the water. And it was great fun. It never occurred to me to be worried or concerned or frightened about any of that, because we learn to trust completely the energy of that presence that we can count on. And being that is both a challenge and a delight. When somebody's little, for a dad to bring that, that's really delightful to be trusted in that way. When the kid gets to be a teenager and suddenly they know everything and you don't know anything, that's tough on dads, particularly when they'd like to be able to help and support, but they're not being given any opportunity to do that. And in fact, anything they say or do, they may get put down for. I'm sure moms can relate to this too. Can you all relate to that kind of experience? It might not have been yours, but somebody you know, yeah. Joseph Campbell said, we're in a free fall into the future. We don't know where we're going. Things are changing so fast, and always when you're going through a long tunnel, anxiety comes along. And all you have to do, this is brilliant, he says, and all you have to do to transform your hell into a paradise is to turn your fall into a voluntary act. It's a very interesting shift of perspective, and that's all it is. Joyful participation in the sorrows, and everything changes. When you become a parent, then you're a parent as long as you're both alive. And it doesn't matter how old the kid gets or how old the parents get, you're still their parent. In some ways, that means that your voice has more weight. Even if you're old and senile, your voice and your presence, it matters. It has weight. It has influence. It can be sad or scary, or the roles may be reversed, but you're still their parent. And that doesn't change as long as you're both alive. And one of the things I learned early, because my mom passed away when I was about 37, is that when both your parents are gone, doesn't matter how grown up you are or how old you are, you're an orphan. Suddenly there's no one in front of you. Maybe you have older siblings, but you now are navigating life without a net. You don't have a parent in front of you anymore. It's a similar kind of thing if you have a parent that has a serious terminal illness or dementia or something like that, where they're there, but they can no longer be a safety net for you. They can no longer be available in that way. And so embracing the present and lovingly participating in the sorrows is part of what it means to live our lives as human beings, to be a parent and to have parents and to lose parents. We're in that whole experience. So our experience as a parent, as an adult, is this bold adventure. You know, if you're daring, it means that when somebody dares you, you're almost always willing to give it a shot. You know, you are willing to step forward into that that kind of determination. And by the way, I do want to say this too, because I think it's very interesting. The word Moxie actually comes from the name of a soft drink. This soft drink was actually developed in the late 1800s, but it still is somewhat popular, I guess, on the East Coast. And somehow or other, the word began to be used for this sense of boldness or daring. So all these things together, if you're someone who is bold, who is strong, who is willing to show up, you're carrying the energy of that inner father archetype. And we all have it, because if we are all expressions of the infinite presence, that creator, there is a father and mother energy there that we are created from and that we all carry. So we're looking a little bit at how do we see that within ourselves and bringing it into our own lives. Boldness is a lack of hesitation or fear in the face of danger, or it's courage and a refusal to be held back by the opinion or judgment of other people. I love this picture of this one tulip. Now it looks like all the other tulips, but it's standing on its own, uniquely, in a place where it wasn't meant to be, unapologetically red. Here I am. That kind of boldness that says, take it or leave it, this is who I am, I'm standing, I'm right here. And I love this little story. There's a father who's walking with his son, his little boy, and at one point he says to him, do you know where you are? And the little boy looks around. No. Well, his dad said, well, then you must be lost. He says, oh no, I'm not lost, Daddy. I'm with you. I'm with you. That's all I need to know. I'm totally safe. There's nothing for me to worry about. I don't have to worry about where I am, where I came from, where I'm going. And that's this Father God energy on a larger scale. This we have to learn as human beings, at some point, hopefully, that we carry that with us. And when we don't have somebody else to depend on for that, that doesn't mean it's absent. We're still here. So we still carry that energy of guidance and dependability and leadership and all those things. You know, dad can be nurturing, but dad's nurturing is different than mom's. And so dad's nurturing sometimes has a really special quality to it because it is balanced with this other kind of energy that dad has. My former husband used to refer to it in his dad and in himself as the big voice and the little voice. So little voice is kind of the everyday, you know, conversational, all that. Big voice would come out when you were in trouble or you needed to be stopped or warned so that you wouldn't get hurt. And boy, that voice gets a kid's attention real fast. Mom can try it, but she doesn't have the timbre in the voice to do quite the same thing. But dad's voice, boy, when dad says stop, you know, boy, you better stop. So for ourselves, when we're trying to shift, when we're trying to change a habit or something, particularly if it's something that is difficult for us, we might want to have that stop voice. When my son was really little, I was doing some work with a therapist, and I had to take him to one of the sessions because I didn't have a babysitter that day. And so Luke was never a sit down, be quiet kid. And even though she had stuff for him to do, and he was playing with it and stuff, he was also very social. So he kind of wanted to engage in the conversation somehow, but we were having a very serious grown-up conversation, right? And so here, out of the corner of my eye, I see my son walking by with a bucket on his head. And I'm just ready to start laughing when she says to me, "Don't laugh, because if you laugh, that will perpetuate it." And at one point she said to me something about seeing me interact with him. She said, "You talk too much. Sometimes you just need to say, 'Luke, stop.'" And so I tried it. I was at a park with my mother and my son, and Luke was about 4 or 5, and he was about to dash out into the parking lot in front of us. And I had had this conversation with my mom saying, "She tells me I talk too much." My mom said, "You do." But I think she was talking about talking in general, because I once asked her when I started to talk, and she said, "You were 14 months old, and you've never stopped." So I think she might have been referring to that too. But when he dashed into the parking lot, I suddenly said, "Luke, stop." And he turned around and looked at me. He stopped, and I said in astonishment to my mother, "It worked." I did not expect that to work. I was ready to give him an explanation of why he needed to stop, which apparently diluted the message that was so important. Dads don't have that problem generally. They're pretty good with stop. So we may need that energy inside ourselves when we feel like we're a little out of control. We may need to bring forth the God the Father kind of energy within us to say, stop it, stop it. Back up, regroup. Now, dads also can be very encouraging. Somehow there's something about the tenderness and encouragement of that dad energy that really feels meaningful and trustworthy. So we also have the recognition that God the Father mentor image is kind of a template for our own possibility for encouraging ourselves, for being tender but also fair, for being challenging when we need to be challenged, when we need a good kick in the rear, for being playful, even with that goofy, dumb, dad puns and jokes kind of stuff, being forgiving, being principled. We look to dad for those kind of strengths because it teaches us that we can have that inside ourselves. We can model ourselves after that. So if we don't have that from our own dad, or if we feel uncertain about it in ourselves, the message is remember that we carry that too. It's always there. whether you had a dad growing up or not, or whether your dad was very good at being a dad or not, because we know that some of them aren't. But this process allows us to recognize that we've got this mighty dad. You know, mighty dad can always be called upon to save the day. The mighty dad I'm talking about here is the dad inside. The dad that is calm strength and bold wisdom. This is the inner father. So on this Father's Day, what we're doing is recognizing the power and the presence and the importance of that inner father. Ernest Holmes, our founder for Centers for Spiritual Living, said, "We shall never know any God greater than the God which our inner consciousness proclaims, for the reason that this inner proclamation is the Father within." That silent voice, that divine urge, that insistent demand made upon our minds is the original spirit. The impulse back of our constructive acts is the original creative genius of the universe flowing through the channels of our inner perception in our own minds. Within us, this cause, perennial in its eternal youth, is ever born anew into creation. So what he's saying is that presence that has the wisdom, that has the guidance, that voice of encouragement, that's always there. We never lose it. But we sometimes lose track of it because we may have other voices of criticism or belittling in our heads, either ours or somebody else's, that we carry around in there. And what we can do is call forth this other presence, this advocate, this other voice, whose intention and presence in us is not only to keep us safe, but to encourage us to take risks, encourage us to fall down and get our knees skinned so that we can actually discover, we can recover, we are resilient, we can go forward. And sometimes Dad has things that come up that he doesn't quite know how to respond to. I read a story about a little kid who said to Dad, "Where does poo come from?" So Dad went into an explanation about eating and digestion and elimination and how all creatures, you know. And the little boy was very confused. And he said, "What about Piglet?" What about Piglet? Where does Piglet come from? Clearly, Dad needed more information about the question, right? So we get asked questions as adults in our lives from little kids all the time that are questions we may or may not understand or respond to. And some dads are really creative in the ways that they listen to a particular problem and respond. So I want to share this little story with you in conclusion. This fellow says, "When my oldest boy was an infant, I had a friend with a son who was about 4 years old. We lived in the same apartment complex, one that backed up onto a golf course. And late one summer afternoon, as I drove home from work, I happened to see my friend Bill and his son walking across the green expanse toward a huge old oak tree. I parked and I watched them, thinking about the day when I could walk with my son and teach him about the world. And when they reached the tree, each unzipped his pants and proceeded to urinate on the tree. And when they finished, they zipped up, chatted for a minute, and then turned and headed back across the fairway. Well, a day or two later, I happened to see Bill, and I asked him about the incident. As a boy, Bill didn't have much physical or emotional contact with his father. The man worked a lot, and it wasn't the kind of job to which he could take Bill. So Bill watched his dad disappear 6 mornings a week to some secret place with great curiosity and not a little jealousy. His dad worked hard, and when he got home, he would have a quiet dinner, listen to the news, occasionally tuck Bill into bed, and then disappear again to where Bill had no idea. On Sundays, his dad spent most of the day with the newspaper, sleeping, or doing a little work around the house, but he didn't talk much to Bill or anyone else, really. And by the time Bill was 4 or 5, he had learned that dads weren't really available for conversation. But there was never a doubt in Bill's mind that his father loved him. But he couldn't seem to get the same attention from Dad that he got from Mom, and it bothered him. So at around the age of 7, Bill decided he needed to talk to his dad. And one bright summer Sunday, he went to his father and asked him why he never talked to anyone but Mom. Bill asked his father if that meant he wasn't happy, and if his unhappiness was Bill's fault. His father stared at Bill for a few long moments and asked Bill why he thought his dad might be unhappy. Well, he remembered saying, "How can you be happy if you don't talk?" Slowly, his father took Bill by the hand and walked him to a far corner of their yard, where they stopped under a great old oak tree. "Son," the big man said, "there's no greater happiness in the world than this old tree. It doesn't have to talk to be happy. It's happy just being a tree." "But you're not a tree, you're my dad." "Yes, but knowing that you're my son makes me just as happy as this tree." The boy thought about this for a moment, looking up into the full, inviting arms of the tree. "But Daddy," he said eventually, "how do you know this tree is happy?" "Well," his father said gently, with a rarely seen smile, "it just looks happy. We can tell by the great size and fullness and richness of its branches and by its strength." The little boy thought for a moment. He said, "Can I help the tree be happy?" His father thought for a moment. And he said, "Well, I'll tell you what, Bill. I bet if you give the tree a gift, it would be even happier than it is now." "What kind of gift could we give to a tree, Dad?" "Well, the most important thing for a tree is water. Without water, the tree would quickly die. Suppose you and I pee on this tree and give it the gift of water." "Oh, yes," Bill said, "let's do that." After that day, it was never hard for Bill to talk to his father when something important was on his mind. He would just ask him to come to the tree with him. Bill doesn't recall his father ever refusing. Eventually, Bill forgot all about the ritual. He fell in love, got married, had a son of his own. And the afternoon I saw the two of them at the old oak, the little boy had asked his father a very serious question. What was the difference between boys and girls? Bill felt uncomfortable, but he didn't want to brush the question aside, and suddenly the memory of his father came to him. So he led the boy into his first initiation. As they stood before that great oak, Bill told his son, "Well, I guess we're all pretty much the same in most ways. But the main difference between boys and girls is that girls can have babies, which is very nice, but boys can pee on trees. Sometimes the greatest wisdom comes in the simplest answers," he says. We never know what brilliance might come to us when we want to respond to some small person that we care about very much and give them something they can understand that responds to the question, but without too much information that would overwhelm them. And sometimes the idea comes out of the blue, apparently, to us. Well, we don't have those flashes of inspiration only when little people are asking us questions. Those flashes of inspiration are available in us. So when we need some kind of guidance or clarity on a question, why not ask the Father within? And then wait and see what sort of gift or brilliance comes to us to help us forward in our quest for wisdom. Happy Father's Day. Namaste. Let's take a moment to turn and anchor this within ourselves now. So, in this moment, we recognize that there is one presence and power in and around and through everything that is in the universe. This is the Father, Mother God, the Creator, the nurturing energy, the presence that treasures each one of us as a divine offspring, a beloved carrier of all of the consciousness material the genetics of God. We are that in our own individualized ways, knowing the presence within as far as we can stretch to know it. And it is even more than that. So on this wonderful Father's Day, I claim for us an experience of opening and welcoming, like a flower in the sun, opening and welcoming a greater strength and wisdom and peace and inner trustworthiness, maybe than we have ever allowed ourselves before. Opening into the great Father within, opening into that tremendous well of love and support, encouragement and challenge, guardianship and wisdom. This is present in me and in each one of us now. We claim that voice, that awareness, that wisdom, and know that it is always here, always present, and always ready for us at every moment. We're so grateful for the reminder to know this and claim it for ourselves. We're grateful for the working of the law that unfolds it within us. And knowing this, we let this word go into that law and know that it is done. And together we say, and so it is. Yes, please stand and join me for the morning affirmation. The leader, guardian, and mentor of my being is the Divine Father. I lean into the love and strength that uplift me now. I'm empowered to step forward and claim the good that is mine, and so it is. You may be seated. Ushers, would you please come forward now? This is our sacred offering time, so we want to bless what is being given. Now, your presence here is a gift, whether it's your first time or you've come really often. You are part of the gift, so we want to bless each other as well as all the gifts that have been given to Golden Gate in the previous week. So now, in this moment, I want you to just close your eyes for a second and think of something good that happened to you this week. You know, maybe you had an exceptionally good cup of coffee. Maybe you had a conversation with a friend. Maybe you had a lovely moment with your dog. Just what was a moment of blessing for which you can feel grateful right now? So now you can open your eyes. We want to bless all these gifts that we've received, that we are, and that we are giving. If you online want to text a donation to Golden Gate today, we would love that. The number is available on the screen. Everybody who is here present has all sorts of ways to give that are showing up in the bulletin, but what we want to do right now is take that offering and bless it. So please hold your gift to your heart, or just cover your heart because you yourself are a gift, as we say this offering blessing together. This gift I give is God in action. I now send it forth to bless and to prosper. I know that everywhere it goes, it is creating a world living in love, one heart and one thought at a time, and so it is. Please go ahead.
Being given a title or a theme, it's kind of a dare. Have you got a song for this? Well, songs about daring and Moxie and Chutzpah, a good Yiddish word. Those are songs, I am writing them on my own behalf all the time. I don't mean describing myself. I mean trying to inspire myself. So here's a song from an album called Time for Fire. Hopefully you'll get a kick out of it. Here we go. Department meeting again, investigating a box of missing paper clips, new sales target again. Whoever wins will get a dozen chocolate donuts. Oh yeah. Look out, it's casual day. I get to wear my new pair of cotton Dockers, but don't get carried away. The boss is watching for Nike like a hawk, yeah. Just getting by used to be alright. Now I see the light. Life's too short and life's too long to sell my days till my days are gone. Gonna dance my dance and sing my song. I know that life's too short and life's too long. Got a job at a video store, yeah, video store. Screaming kids in a cherry Coke promotion. Gotta be something more than a 3-DVD X-Men special edition. I have my dreams like anyone else. I owe it to myself. Life's too short and life's too long to sell my days till my days are gone. Gonna dance my dance and sing my song. I know that life's too short and life's too long. Gotta see how much I really know. Gotta go places I've never been. Everything's bound to come to an end. Gotta find out how far I can go. Gotta see how much I really know. Gotta go places I've never been. Everything's bound to come to an end. I believe what Neil Young used to say. It's better to burn out than simply fade away. I swear that it's true. There's so much more that I want to do. Life's too short and life's too long to sell my days till my days are gone. Gonna dance my dance and sing my song. I know that life's too short and life's too long. Life's too short and I'm too strong to tiptoe so that nothing ever goes wrong. Roll those dice and sing my song. I know that life's too short and life's too long. Life's too short. Life's too short. Life's too long. Life's too short. Thanks.
So on behalf of the Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living, all of us here accept this offering with gratitude. And we send it out into the world to awaken in everyone that dependable, present, trustworthy inner Father. And so it is. All right. If you're here for the first time today, Galen is standing back at the welcome table. There are a number of handouts there and welcome packets that are available for you. Please take a welcome packet. If you fill out the blue card that's inside and give it to Galen, she's going to give you a little book as our thank you gift called Nourishing Thoughts. There are short positive affirmations that you can carry around with you that address a variety of different topics that can put you back on track when you're feeling like you're standing on one foot. It's also our invitation to you to come back and be with us often in the future. And I want to thank everybody who helped make this day so beautiful. Thank you for the sunshine. Thank you for the dads. Thank you for the roses. And I want to thank the Frost family for the altar, the candy, the fishing pole, the wood turning tools. It's wonderful. And so make sure that you come up and get some candy because there's chocolate there, and take a rose with you to go home in honor of your own dad. How many of you had a dad? Okay, so everybody's eligible to take a rose home. I thought so. All right, let's acknowledge everybody who was involved this morning. Yeah. All right. I do want to say for any of you that missed this announcement last week that our beloved practitioner Sue Ruda made her transition last weekend peacefully at home, and her memorial will be sometime in late August. So her daughters will let us know when their timing is right, and then we'll take it from there. So I want to make sure that you know that, and you can be ready to celebrate her when that time comes, as she is obviously toasting us. Also, let's see. Leslie, are you here? Can you come up? Oh, Leslie and Lori are both here. Oh, great. Their class is beginning on the 18th, which is Tuesday. So it's here. It's here. And if you haven't signed up for it, you should do that. So let them tell you about it.
We're here together this time.
Oh.
And this is so exciting. This is a very wonderful class, Journey of the Soul, that we're going to teach together. It was Lori's idea, so you say a few words here, dear.
Well, have you ever experienced transformation?
Yeah.
That's what happened for me when I took this class, and that's why I was inspired to, well, I wanted to raise my hand and do a little bit of different service than what I've been doing here. And this class really changed me. And I feel like it kind of launched me into a next level. And so that's why I was inspired to teach it. And so I just am excited to be with you and connect and have that experience
Yay.
shared.
Give it back to Leslie.
So it's not too late to sign up if you're interested. Thank you.
Yes, thank you both. And also, if you have any questions, they're right here today, so take advantage of that as well. That's a wonderful thing. If you want to go on a cruise in August of 2025, this would be one to consider. It is 4 of our favorite musicians. Well, Michael Gott, you may not know, but Michael Gott has a wonderful voice. So Michael Gott, Eddie Watkins Jr., Gary Lynn Floyd, and Karen Drucker are going to be on this cruise doing music. And this theme is called Sail Into Your Bliss. The cruise is a week long. It's going up to Alaska. It is from August 24th to 31st of 2025. And so anytime that you make a deposit on this trip between now and May of 2025, it's fully refundable. So there's no risk involved. And I believe that the minister who is coordinating all of this is a Unity minister, but I'm not 100% sure that's true. Anyway, you can find out more at the 800 number. Michelle will be happy to answer any of your questions about the cruise. We are all on deck for summer snacks. So any Sunday that you're here, that you want to bring fresh fruit or anything you've baked or something yummy and wonderful, as long as it's plated and ready to go and it's fresh and new, nothing half eaten already, then we would love to have that, and we would be delighted for you to bring it to the kitchen ready to go on a Sunday morning before the service. And our Sunday team will make sure that it gets out where it needs to go. Finally, I want to remind you of the power of prayer. I often quote Ernest Holmes, our founder, who said, "We believe in prayer more than any class of people on earth, or at least as much." Let me add that little tagline. So every Sunday we have at least one or up to 3 or 4 practitioners available here at the table to pray with you after the service. One of them will take you to a private space back here and do a short prayer with you. Never leave here with a heavy heart. There's no reason to do that. There's always a practitioner on duty who would be happy to sit and pray with you and assist you in letting that lift off. You can also put a prayer request in the box, and that will be prayed over throughout this week. So please take advantage of that. Today we have Selma, Dana, and Karen, who are super practitioners, and they're available for you. So please stand now and join me in the closing blessing and song. So we get ready to send you off into a most wonderful Father's Day. Together we say, "I now walk, so that whoever walks beside me dwells in the presence of God, and whoever places a hand in mine is lifted, and whoever thinks of me is illumined with God consciousness. For spirit and all people and I are one eternally, and so it is. And here's Daniel. We know this one.
One more song for you today on this Father's Day. Hope you have a wonderful day ahead. Happy Father's Day if you are celebrating. And I will be singing for you again, I believe, in just a few weeks, which is always nice for me. So I'm grateful for the invitation, and thank you. And let's sing this one together. We haven't sung this together in a few months. So here we go. A song called Swing Wide the Doors. This one's got a little Moxie. Here we go. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. I'm not holding it in anymore. I'm gonna shout it out loud. I understand now what I'm here for, and what this life is about. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. About lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smile. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. About lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Thank you again. Bye.